Happy 420, whoever is watching. Now, my friend, if you have been following me on my journey since April of 2019, I started my first 420 Christmas comedy, pretty much to practice my stand up. So, this year, we are not doing any 420. First of all, because of restriction. I mean, if I were in a place that it is legal, by all means, I'm all for it. But Christmas is that time of the year where everyone gets together, no matter how bad your year was. At least today, we put everything aside and I make stupid jokes. Or you can suffer from my comedy. How's that? And later tonight, I will have a surprise on X because I've said either I'm going to do a 420 stand up on every Christmas, or I just go have a beer and chat with you guys. Okay, first off, let's get it out of the way, okay? I've been spending a lot of time on Twitter, and all of the non smokers are advocating and saying that weed is bad, it should be illegal. You know what's funny? Would you ever take a financial advice from me? Because I started my journey in 2019. Now is 2023 and I'm still broke. Would you take financial advice from me? That what I thought. Okay then. It's kind of like listening to a fat person on how to lose weight. Are you serious? But I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter be like, weed is bad for society. Weed causes schizophrenia. Weed makes you paranoid. I'm not saying they're not true. Probably the people that are experiencing those symptoms are abusing it. What the people that are advocating for cannabis, I want to use the scientific term because the term weed, you know, it was crafted so that when we use that vocabulary particularly, they tend to associate with the poor class, usually, the brown people and the black people, if you know what I mean. Kind of like conspiracy, right? I mean, if you call someone, you're such a critical thinker, versus, oh my God, he's just conspiracy. See the difference? Vocabulary. Even till today, we still struggle with it, like, for example, God. But let's not go there. Actually, we will in a little bit. But people that are advocating for cannabis to be illegal are not aware that cigarettes are much more harmful, alcohol, prescription drugs, greed. Have you seen what people in business willing to do? Exactly. So, and the crazy thing is, a lot of these people, they don't smoke weed. They've never experienced it. They just like, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. But I'm a very open-minded person. I know where they came from. So let's talk about God. The reason why I started my journey, my friend, was because I've been I was working 9 to 5 pretty much after high school, from job to job, not like paycheck to paycheck. But I'm not gonna lie, I did had a good time. I did have a good time. God, my grammar's still bad. But and the reason why I had a good time, because yes, the work, I was trading my time for the money and then use that money to party. But over time, as a human being, we grow like a baby. We go from a baby to a teenager and adult, and then we become old and we die. And at some point in your life, if you're doing the same thing over and over, you work and you party, you work and you party, you kind of realize, wow, is this the direction that I want to be going in, or is this the life that I want to live? And that's when something sparked out of me, and it was Christmas during the time that I had my enlightenment, if that is the right word. I was high off my balls, right, on the couch, and then a voice from the sky came to me. I've mentioned this over and over in every 420 Christmas video because it is my transformation. And that voice was telling me, Con, what kind of life do you want to live? And that was when I decided I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to learn about assets. I'm going to learn about business. I'm going to learn, I'm going to start building a brand for myself. And here we are, though it hadn't been all shiny, it is quite a journey, but a couple of things that I want to extract out of this, other than being frauded, all the courses, like a lot of the business people, like when they market, they only tell you the good side of it, but when it comes down to the numbers, they're the one that's still making money. And I had an American friend told me, Con, you should never do business with a Chinese company. Never do business with a Chinese company because they're Chinese. I'm like, okay, have you done business with an American company? How was that going in 2021, 2022, when the crypto bust? But anyway, so I came to a realization. I was like, I don't want to do this. So I started doing all of that crap. And a couple of things that I want to extract out of this is that I stopped smoking. I worked out on a vegetarian diet. No more masturbation. The good old days, right? I don't need a woman. Jeez. And yeah, those are probably some of like the best transformation of my life ever. And here we are, not perfect, but I'm still documenting my journey so that you can see the whole process of what it's like to transform yourself. Because in order to make any kind of influence, in order to do anything better for society or for humanity, let's start with something small. Start with yourself. Like, for example, if you're still smoking pot every day, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna change. If you're still watching porn, masturbating, you ain't gonna change either, because it is an addiction. If you are fat and you don't have a healthy diet, you ain't gonna change either. And if you're on the internet and constantly preaching, you are creating unhappiness for yourself. because you're doing a lot of talking, but you're not doing a lot of doing, you know. So I encourage anyone, if you want to make real transformation, especially self transformation, the only thing that the main thing, not the only thing, the main thing of me documenting my journey is to show you that it is not easy, but you have to show the world who you are and that you're willing to change. Because only then, you know, it takes a leader to create more leaders. I don't want to create followers. I want to create leaders by showing the world who I am. Okay, done with the Christmas stuff and the God and the enlightenment. Now, let's talk about rap music, okay? It's been on my mind for a while. So, as most of you guys know, I love Tupac. I love Eminem, but I don't let it influence my life. Like, I don't hate cops. Like, you know, and what I mean by I love their spirit, the way that, you know, they didn't give up in tough situation, and when facing people that are coward, you have to speak up. You speak up, and you know and for me, music has emotion, especially the artist. When the artist is sincere, you can hear it in their soul. Okay, now they could be wrong at that moment, because you know, you and I could be wrong at any moment because of the information that we're getting, and we're like, you know, but we're passionate about it. We're being true about it in that moment. And to me, that, you know, music and artists, those are the things that I look for, and why I'm attracted to them. Not in a gay way, you know, you know what I mean, but in a brotherly, spiritual, like the real voices. And you know, if we look at rap music, it's supposed to be for the oppressed. You know, that using art, music is a form of art, to express their situation. And if we pass forward to where we are today, 2023, hip hop in the West, I, in my opinion, hip hop has done a lot more harm to the West than good. And what I mean by, you know, lyrics such as, I will kill your dog, I will rape your cat, and kill all your vegetables. I'm gonna buy a chain for my apple and oranges. I'm the toughest vegetable on the block. I've been a vegetable for 5 years now. I've been shot 9 times. So those kind of lyrics, you know. And yes, I know people like go to the club, you know, like Chris Rock. I think it was Chris Rock that you know, did a stand up, and he was like, nowadays people dance to anything. They listen to rap music. They don't even listen to the lyrics. They go to the club and they dance, and the lyrics be like, smack them with a dick, 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 you know. And you kind of realize, that's very true. But then if we observe lyrics in a lot of the rap music, I in my opinion, about 90% of the rap today are just garbage. Garbage because it doesn't motivate the youth in a good way. But it talks about, you know, money, cars, bitches, how tough I am, killing people. And my friend, if you pay attention to the mainstream media, it's, you know, words are spells, right? And whether you like it or not, it does get into the subconscious mind of humanity. And if we pay attention to the mainstream media, and for the last, like, you know, 50 years, probably the worst group of people ever, creating all the havoc in the world for humanity. and I'm talking about like, I'm talking about wars, makeup wars, propaganda machine. But anyway, now on the positive side, like I said, you know, I'm bipolar, so I see everything with positive and negative. Now, with rap music, however, not just in the West, but in the East. And in the East, it seems that, people are kind of using music to speak their opinion, to motivate the younger generation to be better, to kind of like, a self transformation process to inspire them to be better. And I think that is how music should be. Music should inspire people, not telling them to go kill people, not telling them to like, treat women like, a piece of meat, or get money at all costs. So in a way, rap music, the West and the East, there are kind of like two definitions. Now, of course, I'm generalizing because there are music in the East that talk about the same thing, talk about money, bling bling, bitches, whatever. So if you're rapping about vegetables, if you're talking about you know your gay dog is humping your neighbors, male dogs, and you're the toughest dog on the block, namaste. I hope one day you see the light. But my friend, so I hope what I just said will, spark some light on this Christmas holiday and also New Year, wherever you are. Last but not least, like every musician, like every author, like every poet, a piece of book, a piece of poetry, a piece of a song represent an emotion, right? And to me, they are priceless. But like most artists, we know that it's hard to be independent. It's hard to because if you're a nobody, nobody's gonna buy your art. If you're a nobody, there is no value on your art, right? So as an artist, what I've seen throughout history, they're missing the business aspect of it. And if you are an independent artist, my friend, you gotta learn how to market, your art. You gotta learn how to sell. You gotta learn how to get your name out there. And in my opinion, when it comes to marketing, especially marketing your work, there's no shame in it. Get your, like what I'm doing on X. We don't want to call it Twitter no more. Elon might get upset and he might make Doge a payment on X. And a lot of people will be disappointed. But if you notice, I constantly market the bipolar poet because if you want to know what it is, I do have some samples on Odyssey channel on my Odyssey channel where I kind of briefly I've read some of the poems that are on here, and they're very simple. I mean, they're not like so they're all handmade. I know it's kind of crazy, except for this picture. I got this picture off of a website, but which is like not copyrighted. But everything in here, all the pictures were taken by me, and this thing was, you know, I didn't write it to sell. It was so about a 10-year period of all the the poems that I have written, and I just compiled them. And it was never my intention to sell like my poems and make it public, but I feel like it was part of my transformation, my pain, my sufferings, my happiness, and how I got out of it. So as a reader, you may question like, okay, what do I get out of it? Well, hopefully I share you my story, and I share you the light of how I got out of it. And even though, yes, I sound kind of crazy sometimes because I love humor, I love making stupid jokes, but then at the same time, if you notice, I talk about some pretty crazy stuff, right? Like up there, the invisible world that we're living in, not just the three-dimensional. Why I choose to be a vegetarian, even though I'm not perfect, but I try. And to me, it's very simple. People can argue about it. People can make a valid point from their perspective, but from me, it's very simple. Being intelligent is able to understand and put yourself in someone else's shoe, okay? And when we eat an animal, I want you to think about that. So I'm not gonna argue because life is about different perspective. Like I love the indigenous Indian people, American Indian people way of life. They were, like even though they ate animal, but every part of the animal, weren't wasted, and they pray. They pray. So I understand where everyone's coming from. I'm just saying that is my life, and a lot of the about who I am, where I was at the time, and basically like kind of like a portal to my soul. And you might think this is crazy, but yes, I'm asking for the donation of 1 Bitcoin. I know it's not for everyone, and I started out with 42 copies, but I gave I gave away to a lot of people, and some of those people are just like really close friends and family. And whether I'm a nobody or someday I become a somebody, it's still going to be a one Bitcoin donation, just because I can set the price. Just because you can be a business owner does not mean that you should. I know, my friend. There's no shame in I rather market my work. I have this, and then I also have the Unspoken Love, which is, but I haven't marketed that yet. Is on the website Gumroad, and then there is another one, is 0369, but it's kind of like I forgot the title, but I have 3 books that are available. Only this one is hard copy. The other one are digital, and they're in PDF format. The other ones, if I believe correctly, um, I think I'm asking for $11.99, but I really don't want to accept, on I eventually it will be on X, because I want to sell my products there. But these are the only 3 books that I have that I have available. Like my intention was never to to write books and sell it. They were just my emotions, what I went through, and it's kind of like putting your soul out there. I know everything about my life is on Odyssey. Rumble and X, and like I genuinely feel that if I'm going to build a brand, I have to be honest with people. And like what you're seeing on the channel and here, that's pretty much who I am. So, word of advice, okay? If you are marketing your product on X, right? Because on Odyssey, you don't get a lot of you don't get to put your name out there because I mean there are users. I think they're like 5 million, but still the number is not enough. So X kind of gave that opportunity, but then at the same time, it's like being a small account. It's it's gonna take some work. So every day when I go in there, like everyone on X, right, the bigger account, they have like a caste system, kind of like in Hinduism, right? A caste system, how much money you make, what kind of food you're supposed to eat, who you're supposed to interact with. So being the reply guy, they call it the reply guy or the reply gal, it's kind of like the lowest of the caste system. But the way that I see it, it's the best way to get your name out there. Like imagine imagine when you reply to a post. Like I do it sincerely. Either I'm humorous about it, either I'm trying to make a point, or I honestly don't know. I ask questions. I don't troll people. Let me repeat that. I don't troll people. And if you take it as me trolling you, maybe it's comedy. Maybe I honestly don't know. Or maybe I'm trying to make a point. Maybe there is a flaw in your thinking. Or maybe there is a flaw in my thinking. That's why I comment. But be a one-of-a-kind reply guy. Not just for engagement purpose, but also if you're sincere about what you're doing, you are marketing yourself to the best people that are in business. Like because people with a following, people that have their business, like if I'm a nobody and I start commenting on their page, it's a really good way to get my name out there. And then eventually, they're like I said, asking for money, like it is a shame. Now, when I use the term donation, I'm not begging for money. I have a product in exchange, right? Asking for money when you're capable of working, when you're, to me, that is a shame. When it comes to marketing your work, I say go all out. And the reason why you should go all out is because there's no shame in it. And you want to find the best strategy to to get your product out there. Otherwise, how are you gonna make money if you don't show people who you are? How are you gonna make money? And I hope that my work will make you see that we are all connected to a higher power. And I'm not a business guy. Like money doesn't motivate me, but we need money, right? And like I don't want to make that as like my primary goal, even though we need money. Money give options, but I never let money be the driver of what I do. Like I didn't write all of these to make money. I just saw an opportunity. I'm like, hey, maybe I can sell my work since I'm putting my life out there in the public. Might as well just make some money, right? So my friend, happy 420 Christmas, and later on, I don't want to make any promises because I've never done like a space on X before. Darn it, I blew it. But I'm gonna randomly go live on there and then just kind of like do a Q&A and just see what people are doing for Christmas, and it will be fun. I've never done a live session before, so now it's I feel like when you reach a certain stage of your journey, and you want to push it to the next level. A lot of my video, even though they are pre-recorded, but I don't do a lot of editing. You know, I kind of let people, like, I want it to be raw. I want it to be natural, so that people can see the real me. And you know, like, other than Odyssey and Rumble, X is a place where there is a large audience, and I do want to build my business on there. And eventually, you know, I don't know what is going to be coming in the future, but a lot, you know, most likely, the thing that I would do for money is stand-up comedy. I really want to do stand-up comedy, you know, uh, and music, but only after I'm able to achieve my financial freedom. But for now, we're taking slowly, building my brand, show you who I am, continue to travel, and you know, and in pursuit of financial freedom. So much love. I hope you catch me on X. I don't have a time, so because I gotta do the time conversion. But let's see here. It will be random, my friend, because I don't want to make a promise that I can't keep. So hopefully I catch you on X space, and you know, we'll go live on there, and then just chit chat and have a beer. Have a beer. So to you and your families, wherever you are, and don't forget, okay? If money is not an issue, you should definitely get this book for you know, the donation of 1 Bitcoin.